Hey math kids, we're going to talk about proof by contrapositive. And what contrapositive means is if we have A implies B, the contrapositive is going to be not B implies not A. Okay? Alright, so let's try an example. So n is an integer, and we need to prove that n squared minus 4n plus 5 is even. Then n is odd. Okay, so if this function is even, like if we plug in an n and it comes out to be an even number, then the n must have been an odd number. Okay, so the contrapositive is going to be n is even, then, I guess if n is even, then n squared minus 4n plus 5 is odd. So notice how we switched the order, like the A and the B, and we also switched what it's claiming about each one. So n is now even. When it was odd, the n squared minus 4n plus 5 is odd, and it used to be even, and we started with the n squared minus 4n plus 5, and then we ended with the n, and so we swapped that as well. We basically just swap everything around. Okay, so if we know that n is even, then there has to be, this has to be true for some value of k. And so if we plug that in to this thing, we're going to say 2k squared minus 4 times 2k plus 5. And if we simplify that, 4k squared minus 8k plus 5. What we can do with that is we can break this 5 into 4 plus 1. So we get 4k squared minus 8k plus 4 plus 1. And the reason why we're doing that is because we can factor out a 2. And we know that this piece, no matter what we plug in for k, is going to be even. And if we do an even number plus 1, that will always be an odd number. So, if we go back up to here, if n is even, then this is odd. And we just proved that. We plugged in an even number, and we ended up with an odd number. And so since the contrapositive is true, then the original statement is also true.